So I'm on my phone today, guys. I just want to try the color uh, accuracy of this phone, and we're gonna talk about what I've discovered with the painting. Vermeer, after a few days of work. But first, let me check if we are audible in live. If we are online. If we are good to go, let me check.
If we are good to go,
All right.
let me check.
Basically, it's a little, it's a little
Basically, it's a little
pale compared to the actual image. So what you're seeing is white on the face, right? But it's a little bit greenish in real life. That's because I used black and yellow to create that green, just like here, and then mixed it with white. So basically what I found on Vermeer's work is he has this greenish underpainting, right? Yeah, he has this greenish underpainting, which he shadowed, he marked the shadow with a brown ochre. Again, that's it's a reddish black or a purplish black. It's not really red purple like this. This is a reddish desaturated red that is black. But when you make it darker, it's gonna turn into this like purplish black. So what they did was add this, right? And then here on the neck, he used the same greenish black here. So we're gonna do that now. And actually, he didn't paint the pearl. So what I was thinking this morning that there was no solid pearl here. I think he actually painted glass. It's a glass earring. So it's not a pearl earring, it's a glass earring. I think that was very common in the past. Like they have these fake earrings that are it's not fake really. It's like it's a glass earring. So I think he was painting a glass earring here. And I don't know who made it, who said that this was pearl, because it's not. These are just the reflections of the window and then her clothes, right? If you look at the reflection of the glass here, look at it closely, you can see that there's a window on the side here that's of course stretched, rounded out, and then there's a brownish reflection, maybe of the wall, like a yellowish reflection. Then there's another wall here, a darker colored wall, and it kind of mixes into this shade here, but it's a different color. It's a reddish black. Here it's a purplish black, while here there's a greenish black here, this area. So after looking at this, it's really amazing that Vermeer actually painted like this layer, the basic layer, right? Then he added another layer, which is the cream, right? The cream layer. And then he added another layer, which is a light, like a light pink, like a lighter version of this. So it's basically this. He painted it over the red, the burnt umber plus yellow mix that he's gonna paint here after this. It's really quite interesting here. So we're gonna do that. But for now, I have a lot of things to fix, like this areas here that has greenish parts or maybe blackish parts. And in the turban, it's also amazing that he painted the grayish pink, this color, this grayish pink, over the blue. So he painted it with like a blackish uh, underpainting, right? And then he painted it with a bright, like a light blue, right? So he striped it with light blues, and then he painted the pure blue over it, like he glazed a blue and ultramarine over it, and then he painted the pinkish color again. This one, he brought it back on top of it. Unless the paints were actually faded at the exact areas, I think he painted them on the blues instead of well, again, here in this parts, here in these areas here, it kind of looks like he just left it like that, like a whitish. He just glazed the white over here. And it's not even a proper glaze. It's like a rough type glaze, because they say that he was using uh, a mongoose brush and ferret badger brushes, and I've tried those. And those are actually very fine brushes. When you use it, it's gonna paint like a full stripe of paint. So either he painted it with a dried paint, or either the paint actually faded. They were flaked off at just these areas, just the white areas here, or he actually glazed over it with lead white, which can result in something like in the original. If you can see it, if you look at it, like there's this pink beneath, like a grayish pink, and then there's a light blue glaze, or like a veil that's broken. There's a broken veil over there. It's like very thin. And there's patches all over. It doesn't even look like there's brush strokes there. So I think he painted the white, the thickness, and then he took some out with his brush. So he erased some parts using his brush. And then either that or the entire thing like was sanded off, right? But I don't think that's what's happening here, because when you look at the portions on these sides, you can still see his brush strokes like flowing into that area. Yeah, and you can see how fine the brushes, the glow here. If you look at the original painting, I wish I could show it. There's a reddish or a pinkish glow here that's really fine, thin. Yeah, it's right over here. So I don't know what texture he has for his canvas, but I'm looking at it here. It looks very fine. It looks like sandpaper. The texture of his board here, or his canvas, is like sandpaper. So he painted it with white, right? And then he glazed over a light blue again. Yeah, you can see it because the strokes are very obvious. They're like full strokes, like bigger brushes. He does it here, here. And then what he does with that is like he paints that light blue on top of the glaze that he did below. So there's not only two layers like the researchers say, but there's actually three layers here. It's the brown one, this one, brown and black, this one. And then a light blue on top. Oh, no. A glaze of ultramarine, darker, purer ultramarine with white. Yeah, and there's a glaze first, right? A glaze. Then he painted over the glaze a light blue. Yeah, a darker, light blue. And then he painted a lighter version of this, almost white, right? But thin enough to actually just cover the top of the light blue. And then he used a brush, maybe a hog hair brush, and then scratched off these lines, certain lines here, scratched them off, took the paint out. So it's a subtractive process here, because you can see it. Unless the white layer on top just like scraped off at the exact right spots, I don't think that's what's happening here, because we can see the stroke of the brush going around, especially here in these areas here. Yeah, so he kind of scratched it off with this brush, right? Subtracted it to create this the depth, the crevices. And then after that, he added this color again on certain areas. Example, the ear here. So he kind of placed it on, which added the grayish tone above, right on top of everything else. Yeah, they're like he just brushed them on top of it, like a sketch. So there's not 2 layers, but actually four layers here for the turban. Because you can see the blue pigment mixed with white that's overlapping this paint here. So he kind of painted this first with blue, right? And then he painted this along with that blue. So that's the second layer now. And then he painted the yellowish here, the golden yellow, which is just burnt umber plus yellow ochre with white. So he glazed some parts. He left yeah. So he placed the dark first, the dark color first on some areas, and on some areas he painted the darks later, last. But I think this is wet, so he painted this on wet, so he didn't wait for the brighter golden yellow to dry. He just put it on and then reinforced the chiaroscuro with the darker version of that golden yellow. But on some areas, like here, this spot, that spot came first. Painted that first. And then he paints the yellow here. Yellows. Yeah. And then this. And then this here, painted it here. So you can tell that this is just 2 layers here, because you can see the blackish underpainting here. This blackish bluish color is here. So he kind of painted these areas here bluish or greenish. It's not actually greenish, it's a blackish blue. So it's his black paint, he mixed it with his ultramarine to achieve that. Or either he was using the indigo again, which fades out, turns into black. But it's not really like that, because the background here, I have a bluish black here, but it's actually reddish black. Because it contrasts with the bluish, the greenish color here. You can actually see how red the background is when you compare it to the bluish greenish part here, the neck. So her clothing is somewhat like this. He starts out with somewhat like this, but he has blacks over here. Yes. And some blues, blackish blue. He used it here to mark it. And then he just glazed over it with the golden again, but not a desaturated version of the golden color. It looks like a sienna, right? I need to figure out the mixture of that, what color that is. It kind of looks like, of course, there's yellow there because you can't achieve this color without yellow. It's like a orange ochre, kinda a yellow orange ochre. So it kind of has a reddish quality to it. So maybe it has yellow ochre with red ochre. I don't know. I still have to look for it. Because they say that he used red ochre, right? And then again here, this funny part here is he painted the blues first. The dark blues. And then he painted the whites on top of it. These lighter colors. Similar to what I did here. And then after that, he painted it with this color again, like what I did here. Now there are parts here that are wrong. I wasn't able to perfect that yet, but that's the layering. You can see, I don't know if you can notice here, it's too far away from the camera, but here I have the reddish black here, which is correct compared to this bluish black. So it's the same brown ochre mixed with the blue. And they say he used the indigo. I think this amount of blue here, if he used the ultramarine, I think his wife is gonna kill him. So there's a lot of layers here. It's not actually just 2 layers everywhere. Like there are areas that has 2 layers. Like here, like he did it with here, right? He started with this same paint here. You can see it below because it's below. And he adds yellow to it, right? So it kind of unifies it, and then he adds the subsurface scattering here with a more saturated golden color here. Oh, we have messages. There's a lot of messages here. So sorry guys. This artwork is so good. Ali Mali says this artwork is so good. Why just like, and that like is me. So hi Ali Mali, thanks for the support. Eliza Villangoza says hi. Hello Eliza, thanks for your support Eliza. Zoe's here. Zoe's here. She says hello, it's turning out too good. Thanks Zoe for the support. Thanks. Ali Mali said, how did you paint that? I started with a grid method, right? You can see it in the live. And then I cut it off. I started working on it without the camera because the camera was distracting me. Like when I'm live, it's kind of like a time limit. There's like a time limit. It's my brain, like it's telling me to keep the action going, So I can't when I paint actually, especially if I'm copying or trying to study a painting. Sometimes I sit for like an hour just looking at the reference, looking at my painting, understanding, going out, like taking a break because it sometimes you look at something like a painting, you ask a question, right? Like, what am I seeing here? And then you have your painting here, you're doing it, and then why does this look like wrong, like something's wrong. Then you look at the reference again and you go away and you come back. And then you figure out that at that you kind of see what's missing, right? So it kind of takes a process like to figure out what's going on. So I just decided, and of course I'm wearing glasses and my eyes are getting like a little bit uh, it's not as sharp as it used to. So I have to remove my glasses to see certain things, to paint certain things, especially at that point. So I have to remove my glasses and then just go like too close to the canvas, and it would be hard to have that. It's a messy process when it's so there's a message here that is held for review. Let's look at it. Looks trash. He says Leridel Arabia says it looks trash. Well, yeah. Thanks for the support anyway. Let's show that. All right. Let's show it. Okay. So another moderator handled it. So there's another moderator. Leridel Arabia says hi. Hello, Leridel. You're welcome to your opinion, of course. That's, And usually, like if you're not into the process, of course, you're not gonna see where it's coming from, right? You're not gonna see. You're gonna expect like a finished product, and you're not gonna appreciate like the level, the details below the painting, right? So it's understandable. Parvaneha Art, hello. Parvaneha Art says amazing, like done. Is it with color? It's not done. Thing is, uh, the thing is, like, if you wanna, I wanna copy it exactly as much as possible, exactly as how it appears, at least on the Google, on the wiki photo, right, of the painting. So I haven't seen the actual painting, and again, it doesn't look kind of accurate given the phone camera here. I don't know. Can you see it? It's getting. I think I adjusted it. It's dark, but it still looks pale, right? So here you guys are seeing like a bluish color, but here in actual, it looks reddish here, and you can see here. And this one's kind of like enhanced in the camera. It's too red because I've lost most of the greens here, the subtle nuance here. So again, maybe it looks different in the PC. That's why I'm trying this right now. So again, guys, I think that's it. That's it. So there are multiple layers here. It's not just one, two layers all over, right? Like for example, the back here, back of the neck. He painted this, right, with the greenish blackish color here, and then he kind of corrected it with the reddish, blackish reddish color. He cut this off here, almost, right? So there are tricks that he does, and I'm still figuring out what brush. I've made like I've ruined a couple of my brushes here, just to figure out how to get this brush stroke that he does here. So either somebody sanded off this painting, or this is exactly how it looks like in the past. Like there are brush strokes here that you can see. It's actually like he actually kind of did something like this for that parts there. And there are portions here. If you look at it, if you look at it closely, there are portions of the face that I think he kind of painted on it while the paint is not too dry below. It's kind of funny that we see those things. Like some paints are actually like pulled out. So there are tiny details here. I'm not sure if this is because of these are actually painted on by him. Like there's like a uh, necklines here. I'm not sure if he painted this or this is just an artifact because the painting is old. Alright, but we can see the brush strokes though, like how he spread out the brush here, this portion here, kind of spread it out like that. When he painted it's actually a greenish cream similar to this color. So that's like a final layer correction he did, which actually like pulled certain colors that he painted here below. It's kind of interesting the process that he did here. So this was not, I think this was not a planned painting. Like he didn't plan this. He had an idea. He had the image of the girl and stuff. But once he started painting, I think he painted it like, okay, what do I need to do right now? Okay, I need to add this. I need to add this. So it was not like there was no pipeline, so to speak. Just like we expect, like all these old masters have a pipeline. Like, okay, start with this layer and then this layer and then this layer. I think that's the mistake that most of us modern folks think, like especially like in Leonardo's painting. Like there's even a belief that he uses like there's like 40 layers of full paintings on top, and there's not. So there's a lot of like misinformation out there, like myths. They're just like us, people. Like if I paint a portrait, a commission, then I look at it and I'm missing like a color here. Maybe I can improve this by adding this color. So it's kind of just like that. Uh, Via Bell, make Starry Night. No, I'm not gonna make Starry Night. That's a nightmare. Starry Night is an expressive work, and its appeal comes from the brushstroke, right? Comes from the actual texture that is on the painting. I can do stuff like that, but I'm not gonna do it. Parbaneha Art says I can't understand Arabic. So sorry, bro. So anyway, again, that's it. If you ever want to try to study this painting, look into it. You can't copy it if you do this. Like if you want to copy it and do this in like a la prima or one sitting, it's gonna be impossible because you can't copy that, and you won't learn things. The purpose of this, my purpose, is to understand the process that he has. Maybe I get it 30%, 40%, but I did learn a few things. Like how he painted the eyes. He started with this, and then he overlays it with a dark brownish color. And he used a lot of white. Most of us think that the masters, old masters, just use pure colors. Now, of course, there are other masters that used that did that. But I think Vermeer knows how to maximize, like how to extend his paints using cheaper materials. Okay, so that's it for me for now. I'm just reporting it, and I'll just report again once I've built up another layer. So thanks for the support, guys, and thanks for dropping by. And I'll see you guys next time.